So, you wanna learn Blender? I was once like you, a little deer in the whole world of 3D, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, screaming at the screen, and giving up in the first day. But hopefully you're not like me. Probably you're better, because if you are here, you're actually trying to improve your skills and trying to actually stick to Blender, which I will congratulate you for. And for that, I created this video for you. This is going to be the perfect video for you to start Blender. And why am I saying that? Well, because Blender is a very, very, very intimidating software. And really, it's an amazing tool. It has amazing features and you can do some of the best works ever. And I will teach you all that, but I cannot do it alone. And you don't have to do that alone. That's the beauty of Blender. Blender is an open source software. So that means a lot of people have access to it, and even more than that, you will have a lot of room for improvement and a lot of information to improve yourself with. And this video is here to actually help you out, because there are so many routes you can take in Blender that is actually quite intimidating. And I will do this, so I'll make a little introduction and tell you exactly how I started Blender, because I'm doing this for more than 1.5 years at this point in time. And I will tell you what sites and really rather what channels you should watch and what channels you should follow for your specific point, because you will understand when I'm talking more about Blender later on that you will have to choose specific paths that you have to go with. And also I will tell you at the end kind of what you should do next. Now, let's actually get right into it. Good, so now we're actually at the list where you have to find out who to follow for each of the stuff that you need. And this is not a top 10, this is not like a top to anything. And also, I'm not saying I included everyone you should follow, because genuinely, I don't know everyone that does this. Okay, I'm sorry, I probably missed out on some people and I'm really sorry for that, but genuinely, I think this is more than enough, at least to begin. So, let's start it this way. For all the game developers out there that want to start gaming and to create their own assets and to be able to learn more about the game developing side, I suggest you to follow these guys. I have actually a list that I'm gonna look at, so I'm sorry if I'm not looking all the time in the camera. The first person that I think you should watch is Thomas Brush. Thomas Brush is an indie developer that already has a few games on Steam, and some of them really blew up, and he is right now working on another game called Twisted Towers, which, by the way, I think you should check out on Steam. It's not out yet, but you can wishlist it, and I think it's gonna be out in this year, hopefully. And it's really cool because he's making a lot of streams where he actually shows you the progress and how he creates games. He makes a lot of interviews with other indie developers and so on and so forth. And I think he is a very, very amazing mind of both inspiration and knowledge in this realm. Now, another person I think is very important to know is Grant Abbott. Grant Abbott is more of a generalist when it comes to Blender. You can find almost any type of tutorial on his channel, but he does concentrate a lot on, well, you know, modeling for game developing and stuff like that. You can also follow Game Dev, I think it's called just Game Dev or something, gamedev.tv, I think it was. And he works there alongside other people. He mainly concentrates on Blender and how to model characters for Blender, how to model a certain environment and stuff like that. And you can learn a lot. I actually learned a lot from him. I bought a course from him with how to create a character in Blender for a game, and trust me, it's really, really good. Also, I learned how to create low poly environments from him. It's a really, really good way to actually get into game developing. And another one, this one is actually a much smaller channel, and I think you should actually go and support this guy because he is going to be an upcoming developer. I'm pretty sure he's going to make some great work in the future. It's Little One Studio. I know him really from Instagram. Right now I know he's working on a horror game. But again, he is showing his process, he's showing how he creates stuff, and it's really, really interesting. And I think the guy is really talented and you should check him out, at least give it a try. So, with this being said, this is really the part that you should concentrate if you're in the beginning now, because I'm gonna talk about the more general channels. So this means the ones that you will find almost any type of information that you might want. And really, I think it's probably some of the best information that you can get. The first one, of course, is gonna be the king of Blender, at least in my opinion, Blender Guru. You start from his donut tutorial and you can go from that to intermediate tutorials that he has. You can go to, he just posted, I think it was a few weeks ago, a texturing tutorial. It's unbelievable. I actually scheduled it for this weekend, so I wanna actually learn it because I saw what he can do and it's incredible. And that's another thing that you have to see. Even after 1 year, I still have a lot to learn and I'm going to take it. I know a lot of the things that he will show for sure, because I really worked a lot with textures lately, but yeah, I am sure I can learn so much more from him, and that's amazing. Besides him, you should follow CG Boost. Again, a lot of good tutorials about almost anything you might want. This is more not one person, but more like a group of people that will teach you stuff. I think it's really good to get you into Blender, and these are probably the best channels to go through and do the tutorials in the beginning, so that you know which thing you might want and which thing you might like the most. Next is CG Cookie. It's almost the same thing as CG Boost, really. Another group of people, very talented, very good explanations every single time. If you want, like, it's the most probably professional stuff you can find. Then would be Kaizen. And goddamn, Kaizen's texture video saves me so many times. Actually, even today, well, actually last night when I was working on my latest Blender project, I'm gonna probably put it up here, I was using everything he's explaining in that tutorial. Those lessons stuck to me till this day because it's really good and super useful. And you only require Blender, by the way, nothing else. Another person is Holyfjord. I hope I pronounced that well. I think he's from Norway or something. But yeah, this guy is incredible. His latest renders and his latest projects were absolutely insanely good. And yeah, he streams again a lot to show you the process that he's taking. And also, by the way, I would really recommend him for everyone who wants to learn rigging. I learned a lot of my rigging skills from his videos. He has a video where he's rigging a robot spider, and genuinely I learned a lot from that alone, so I totally recommend you to check that out. And well, to check everything he's doing out, it's really cool. Another one, and this one is probably my favorite channel, is My 3D. How about that? I'm gonna mention myself in the video, and you know what? If I'm doing this, don't scream at me just yet, because you also have to subscribe and leave a like. You ended up all the way till here, I said my name, it's cringe as fuck, so if you don't subscribe, I'm gonna really feel bad. I'm gonna wait for you to do that, by the way. Okay, waited enough. Geometrical nodes. Now, this is probably the most powerful tool Blender has, at least in my opinion. It's genuinely crazy what you can do with it. But it's difficult, and if you don't really have a lot of background into this is not as much of an art stuff, it's more like programming and math. So it can be fairly hard to understand in the beginning. It's very important to know where to start from. Again, Blender Guru and his donut tutorial teaches you the beginning and how to grasp a little bit the geometrical nodes, but if you want to really go into it, I recommend you, in my opinion, the god of geometrical nodes, Arendelle. Arendelle is amazing. His tutorials are not only lengthy and full of information, but you will understand each node and each of the purposes that each node has perfectly. It's incredible. His work is absolutely phenomenal, and trust me, you will probably want to do this. Besides him, I think Bad Normals is another channel you should follow. I learned a lot of tricks from him, and really I didn't have to do too much, and I think it's really funny. And the difference between them, I would say, Arendelle does a lot more of technical stuff, I would say. Like he creates entire buildings and entire systems from the scratch in GeoNodes. Bad Normals basically creates like animations and all sorts of stuff with geometrical nodes. It's a little different, you'll probably understand once you see it. It's kind of hard to explain the difference between them, but both of them are super good. I recommend both these channels, so go check them out, please. Also, I will recommend Cinematic Cookie. It's a channel I discovered fairly recently. It's basically a channel that, again, concentrates a lot on geometrical nodes, but really what drew my attention was a video he has about creating procedural buildings. Like, he explained it super well. I did watch it to its entirety, and I really think it's really good. So please go check them out. And also, Cartesian Caramel. It might sound funny as a name, but this guy created a geometrical node system that he can do this hand and this system, and that's insane. This is amazing. This guy is absolutely a blast of talent, and genuinely I think you should just go and subscribe to him. He's really good. Other than that, there's another person that I think you should really follow, and this one is a little bit in the realm of animation and geometrical nodes and simulations. I don't really know where to categorize him, so I'm just gonna put him here. The name is, I hope I'm not gonna mess this up, Sina Sinae. I'm gonna put all the channels up anyway for you to see them, but this guy has some amazing animations that he forms with geometrical nodes. Mostly he concentrates on small animations like transitions that he will show you, but the knowledge that you get from those videos are applicable very well in all the other stuff. Another person that kind of comes into the same category, but I'm gonna also put him in the animation category, is 3D Ducky. 3D Ducky, you most probably heard of him. He's one of the bigger channels of Blender that I know of, at least. And he's doing mostly motion video. The videos are like complete loopholes and stuff, and he is doing a really great job. And mostly he's working with geometrical nodes, but he's, again, in the realm of animation most of the time. The man is absolutely amazing. I think he's a really talented guy. And again, all the tutorials that he has, and I follow quite a bit of them, are explained amazingly. Actually, he's one of the reasons that I have finally understood how to use the geometry proximity node, which, believe it or not, it's one of the most powerful nodes there are in Blender, but really I didn't know how to use it. I never had to, but then I saw him. And actually at the same time, I did forget someone in the general list that I remember now, and it's CG Geek. Actually, CG Geek is kind of doing the same thing as Blender Guru more or less, but really on the shorter video kind of realm. I think it's better if you want to do like very fast stuff, but also, again, super cool information, super neat videos. And now going also at the very dense but compressed information, I have two, in my opinion, legends. One is Ian Huberts, who by the way has kind of a small series on YouTube, everything made in Blender, by the way, and it's absolutely looking gorgeous, interesting. It's a sci-fi story. I did actually watch the first 2 episodes. I want to watch the rest of them because it's incredible. And you might think, this is the most spectacular looking visuals ever. What kind of crazy techniques he might have used? Well, he actually does show us in his lazy tutorials. Now, he didn't post in some time these lazy tutorials, but those that he posted are hilarious. They're basically shorts in like 10 seconds. He explains you some of the craziest stuff ever. I learned how to rig a piston because of that, and yeah, he's a legend. He uses literally boxes and then image textures and shows you how easy it is to just create a natural environment. Which brings me to one of the most important things that you have to learn in Blender, and where I think both Ian and Blender Guru can help the most, at least as far as I know, which is lighting. You have to learn how to light your scenes properly, because that makes really the whole difference. Actually, even to this day, I would say I'm very weak when it comes to lighting my scene. Even right now, I am really finding myself in need of good HDRs to even have good lighting in my scene, and I rely way too much on my HDRs rather than me being able to actually, you know, create proper lighting in my scene, which is a mistake and something I have to rectify on the way. But yeah, just so you know, Blender Guru, Ian Hubert's really good person to actually teach you these. And again, on the short content size where you can find incredible information in a very fast pace, it's Blender Secret. Blender Secret has also lengthier clips, but mostly I learned from him, from shorts, how to do, well, basically anything. The guy has tutorials about everything. Go from sculpting to rigging to geometrical nodes to probably every single little other aspect that you can find in Blender. And that's an amazing, powerful page for inspiration. Now, you might be one of those guys that even to this day is like, I don't know if I want to do Blender, and I don't even have inspiration to do so. Or you might be stuck and you don't want to continue because you don't know what else to create. Well, I give you two channels that are mostly entertaining and inspirational, at least it was for me. One of these channels was actually the reason I became so interested in 3D and why I started Blender in the first place, which is Corridor Crew. You probably heard of them, they're really big and they're amazing. They basically do a lot of CGI, VFX React, and reactions to animations. I don't know why it took me so long to get that right. Also, they do stuntmen, if I'm not mistaken, reactions. I watch most of their clips anyway, but besides those, they actually make breakdowns on how they create CGI themselves. And it's really fun, and even more important than that, along the years, if you follow them for some time, you will see how they went from Cinema 4D and Maya to actually use Blender more and more proeminently, because Blender became such an important tool in the industry, which again I found inspirational just seeing that. And another guy that actually was with Corridor Crew but now has a separate channel all by himself is Punisher. Punisher, you definitely heard of him. If you are here learning Blender, you've heard of him and of his challenges. The guy has also really good tutorials. I think he mostly works in Unreal though, so for all those guys that want to use Unreal, go there and check him out. He's definitely got some good stuff going around. Also, if you want to learn Blender, don't be afraid of watching people using other softwares. You'll most probably have to use other softwares as well, and by the way, if you are on this channel, we will use other softwares such as Quixel Mixer, Unreal probably, and Krita. These are a few of them that I use fairly preeminently in my videos, but Blender is the main one. Just for you to know, you will need to learn more, and also you will at least get ideas from other softwares such as Maya, ZBrush, everything. You just need the idea, not necessarily to have the same buttons. Just saying. But yeah, going back to Punisher, he has, besides really good tutorials and really inspirational renders and animations, the guy has 3D challenges that I think they're, I don't know, 6 per year. I genuinely don't remember exactly how many, but they're really good. A lot of talented people are actually creating animations, and if you want to inspire yourself, just look up some of its challenges and what people actually put out there. It's incredible, I'm telling you. Okay, without these guys, who else can we actually follow? Well, maybe you want to create some hard surfaces. Maybe you want to create the perfect environment in a sci-fi movie or a sci-fi game. And for that, we have two people, at least that I know of. Josh Gambrel and Ponte Ryuri. I always fuck this one up, don't I? Don't tell me it's wrong. I know it's wrong already, okay? I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I'm doing Blender, I'm not here to talk. Which is why I'm here right now. So these two guys are doing hard surface modeling. They will actually teach you a lot. They have, I don't know if it's a business or not. It's called Blender Bros, and it's actually a separate site that they have. They have some manuals where you can learn. They will use some paid add-ons for most of the videos. You can do stuff alongside them without those add-ons, but I'll be totally honest with you, I did buy the add-ons and they're really helpful, but you do have to spend time to understand how those tools will work. Hopefully Josh and Ponte are there to help you out. I wanted to say Ruru again, and I realized I'm gonna fuck it up again, which I just did.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
And with that actually being said, let's get into animation. Yes, one of the most searched for stuff in Blender and probably any other 3D software besides gaming. And I have for you one of the best animators there is. Again, CG Boost also does animation, CG Cookie does animation, probably CG Geek also has some animations laying around on their tutorials, but this guy, in my opinion, is incredible. And his name is Pierre Picot. Pierre Picot. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm not French, I'm sorry. Pierre Picot is the guy that has done some crazy work. He actually has a new course that has come out, I think, a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. I really want to buy that course because it looks amazing. The guy is an amazing animator. I'm gonna put right here in front of you while I'm talking an animation that he did. That is just the trailer for his new course. That's just a trailer, and that's just a little bit of what he can do. The man is incredible. Everything he does is in Blender, and he teaches you every step of the way in his course. I'm not sponsored by him or anything, or by any of these guys really, but I think he's such a talented guy. And if you don't want to pay for the course, of course, I'm saying that he has a YouTube channel where he will tell you a lot of good stuff. Actually, because of him, I learned how to use grease pencil and to understand that the grease pencil is not just a tool Blender has. It's basically a whole different realm. You can create 2D animations from the get-go to the very end using grease pencil. That's crazy to me. And again, learning how to draw might help me out with that one, just saying. But yeah, Pierre Picot, sorry, is really good. Again, he also had shown how he created different game effects, because yes, he does that as well. And again, the man is amazing. He did win, I think, the second place in challenge on Artstation with that, and he has the video on YouTube, and he kind of explains the whole breakdown of how he created that animation. So please check him out, he's really good. Also at animation, again, I did talk about 3D Daki already. I'm not gonna talk about him again. And also about Sina Sinae, with, again, he's really good, and he does a lot of animations that are also geometry nodes based. But here's someone that I have found recently with a pretty viral video that probably you saw as well. It's a little duck that actually shoots guns and stuff. And the name for the channel is No Clues. No Clues. No Clues. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that, however, what I know for sure is the guy. I watched only that tutorial with Duck, to be frankly honest with you, but I'll be totally honest, that was really good, and the man really says it all. And I think it's inspirational, the fact that he does say that he doesn't really know how to rig stuff, and yet he created such a nice animation. Now, not knowing how to rig complex stuff, it's totally different from not knowing rigging at all. So he is totally a good step also from, you know, for animation and for animators out there. The isometric world is something that I personally am not that interested in, but a lot of people are interested in. Isometric worlds, isometric renders are really cool. They look incredible. It's just something I don't personally do, but I know a lot of people that do, and I know some extremely good people that do it, and that's why I have them on the list right there. You have Nikki Blender. That's actually a very, again, I said inspirational so many times in this video, but really it is. All these guys learned almost everything by themselves and went to the top, basically. What do you want from me? She basically learned, I think she said she learned Blender in like 2018, 2020, something like that. I might be a little wrong, but she became so good that actually I think Blender 3.4 used her. I'm going to try to search the panel, but Blender 3, one of the Blender versions that I had before, had her artwork on the cover, and she is absolutely phenomenal. She has a lot of courses, she has some YouTube videos as well. I really think you should check her out. She's really good. Another good artist that does kind of the same thing and these little cute scenes is Samira 3D Art. She is barely started, and I also have a little bit of a section with upcoming artists that are barely at the start, so I'm gonna put her right there. And actually, you know what, I'm gonna say the second upcoming one because she's also doing a lot of isometric stuff. 3D by Sarah. 3D by Sarah is really fun. She has an animation that she did for Christmas, I think, and it was really good. Also, she started from actually doing game development, and now she's doing more of animation stuff. Now, from what I know, she's streaming on YouTube, so you can actually check her out and maybe look at a stream. From what I know, she is modeling and designing whole scenes in her streams, so, you know, go check her out. So with this actually being said, there's one more person I want to shout out, and that is 3D Not 2D. You heard that right. It's 3D, not 2D. That's the name of the channel, and that's the name of the game, because again, he is creating isometric worlds. I don't know what else to tell you. They are super talented. They're doing a really, really good job. And another person that just came to my mind, because I remember I saw a video this morning with them, is Crossmind Studios. Probably, again, it's a team of people, not one person, but they're making really good tutorials. I learned a lot of animation skills from them, a lot of modeling skills from them, especially procedural stuff. And yeah, they will concentrate a lot on procedural animation. So again, a lot of geometry nodes. If you're intimidated of geometry nodes, there are so many people you can follow. Again, personally, I will recommend you 3D Ducky for motion designers and for getting a little bit used to geometry nodes. But if you want more complex stuff, Arendelle is definitely the guy, and Bad Normals also can be followed. Yeah, with all this being said, it's basically kind of the end of the video. I kind of told you every single thing that you should do, and now comes the advice part. What should I, well, what would I advise you to do, rather? And that is just model stuff that you want, but don't just do it out of the gate, okay? You will not be able to, and probably you will get frustrated. I do recommend for at least a few months, meaning like 2 months, maybe 3, do tutorials on a lot of things. Geometry nodes, texture painting, textures in general. Just look up stuff. Look up programs you can actually work with, because those will help you out. A little bit of a shout out is, again, Blender, Pixel Mixer for texturing, F-Spy for actually getting good angles and cameras. It's actually super useful. What else? Unreal, of course, or Unity, depends on what you want, or Godot. They're a lot. They're just a lot. And I mean, you can also Krita, of course, Photoshop, if you want to go the paid way or whatever. Krita is a free version, by the way, of a 2D drawing software. Also GIMP. I used it till recently. Now I kind of switched to Krita, but GIMP is really good as well. So yeah, you have a lot of ways you can do stuff, and really you should try stuff out. And just the only thing that I can say is stay consistent, okay? Don't give up. Consistency is, in my opinion, the key to basically almost everything. And Blender is the thing that I personally believe is the most relatable thing to this saying, because I noticed that I did Blender almost 1 hour, at least 1 hour a day for, you know, kind of this hour. Of course, there are some days when you can't do that, but it's still a lot. And because of being this consistent, you get better and better every single day. If you want to be better at Blender, or you want to be better at basically anything else, it's all about how much time and how much effort you will actually spend on that said thing. And really, there's no way you will not get better, but as I just said, you should not necessarily limit yourself, but rather concentrate on what's important to you. Of course, again, you can be a generalist, you can know more stuff from other, you know, little parts of Blender, but you will never be able to master all of them, and that is absolutely fine. It's enough just to know a little bit of everything and concentrate on what you need and become a master on what you want, and from there on everything will be clear all out. So with this being said, I know this video is a little longer than I expected, as I kind of always do. I'm happy to do Blender videos again, and please don't forget that if you do like gameplay videos and the gaming content in general, there's this channel where I am at. Yeah, that is basically it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if this video was helpful to you, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and again, follow the guys that I mentioned. They are super helpful, and I really hope you will enjoy this Blender experience and you will stick to it. Bye guys!